usually. So we've asked each of the girls this afternoon to give you an elevator pitch of why their job is the best job in the world. Does that sound good? So they are going to go 1, 2, 3 in just a minute, and they'll stand up, introduce themselves. Already you can see their names, but they're going to introduce themselves and give you an elevator pitch on why their job is the best job in the world. All right, so let's give Lisa a round of applause as she stands, and let's hear from you, Lisa.
Hi guys, my name is Lisa Stojanovsky and I make online YouTube videos about space, so that's awesome. And because my job is online, I can travel the world to all the different space things, especially in the United States. So I get to tour rocket factories and speak to astronauts and scientists about space, which is what I love, and that's why my job is the coolest job in the world.
So the first question that I wanted to ask you about this afternoon is, we've heard a little bit about work today. We've heard a little bit about jobs that people have. And it's been said that the nature of work, the way that work looks, is actually changing. And I'm wondering, maybe Lisa, you might kick us off with, how has work changed over time and what's your experiences of it?
I think lately there's been so many more job opportunities that we didn't have 20, 30 years ago. We have the internet now, and so people can work and earn money and a living through the internet. That's what I do. I make online YouTube videos. I don't have to go and do a 9-to-5 job in an office, and I can do what I love. The internet has made all these new opportunities available, and you don't have to do traditional jobs anymore. You can take your passion and turn that into a job that you want to do.
I love what you're saying, that being a leader is not just when you're standing up in school assembly giving your leadership speech, or when you're in your house meetings doing the leader thing. You're actually a leader all the time. So how have you guys experienced leadership in your day-to-day stuff? What does that look like for you?
I think for me, every day, it's all about being a good role model, I think. To be a good leader, you need to show people through what you do the kinds of things that you would like them to do for you. So if you're leading a team, if you're in a meeting or something like that, if you can show the people in that meeting how to talk to other people, how to be polite, how to listen to other people's ideas, then even if you do that outside of meetings, if you do that when you're in the grocery store or when you're catching the bus or the train, if you can be that kind of person, then you show other people how to be that kind of person as well.
Yeah, what about you?
It is.
Yeah, what about you, Lisa?
I like how Sarah was talking about how sometimes things go wrong. Things go wrong all the time. But it's what you get out of it when things go wrong. There's always something little to learn. You can master the little things of when things go wrong. What can you learn from that experience that you can take into the future with you, that you can use to grow? So I did a science degree, and by the end of it, I realized maybe I don't want to be a research scientist, but it was the little things that I learned from doing that degree that kind of are going to help me to eventually, hopefully, become an astronaut. There's always something to learn from each experience.
Yeah. I think sometimes in leadership we focus on all the great stuff, and we focus on all the achievements, and we focus on all the things that are going great. But I know in a room with 3,000 young leaders here, there would be lots of young leaders here today that maybe don't feel that they have what it takes right now, or maybe like there's stuff going on in life, like it always does, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 40, there's always stuff going on. That's what life is. I would love you to share with them what is your advice to them on those days when they're not feeling like they have what they need, or when things aren't going well. What's your advice to them to get through it and to keep moving forward?
Well, I mentioned before that things go wrong, and at the end of the day, the important thing to remember is that there's always another day, there's always tomorrow, there's always going to be another chance and another opportunity. And things always kind of seem to have a way of working out in the end. So as long as you can put yourself in that way of thinking to know that things will get better, the way you deal with the situation when things go wrong is how you define yourself as a person. Yeah. Like how Sarah was saying, when she has a bad day, she could deal with it in a negative way, or she could turn it into a positive. And if you can do that, you're building up your own personality and yourself as a person to be able to deal with these negative things.
Yeah, awesome. Room to turn your life around.
Yeah.
There's always a way to fix it. There's always a way to look at something differently. There's always room to say sorry when you make a mistake. There's always space to do something maybe that you've never done before or in a different way than what you've done before.
And you can just start small, even if you just change one thing.
Yeah.
One thing can lead to another small thing. Mastering the little things, it all adds up together to build something more.
Like making your bed. Remember that video?
Yeah.
Making your
Who
bed.
inspired you to do the job you're doing today?
Who inspired
Oh,
you?
I'd love to take this one. So I want to be Australia's first female astronaut because I think space is amazing and space is the future. And I have two inspirations. The first is Andy Thomas, who was an Australian Australian-born astronaut. And the second for me is a woman named Samantha Cristoforetti. So there isn't that many female astronauts compared to male astronauts, which doesn't seem that fair, but we can change that, so that's cool. The reason Sam is so inspiring to me is that when she was in space, she wrote a blog, a website blog about things that she would do every single day on the space station. So it felt like I could experience being in space with her, and it was like I was there with her. So what I want to do in my videos is what Sam did for me. I want to share what space is like to everybody. So I took what Sam did and I copied those things that Sam did that were inspiring for me, and I took that role model and I applied that to myself.
It's so great to have a role model, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or a bunch of people that you look up to. Yeah, thank you.
I'm very, very jealous that you never have days like that.
Lisa, tell us why you were at Yes.
So the reason
Well, you were in
I
on.
don't think I have days where I don't want to do my job is that my job can be so many different things. My videos about space and science can be on so many different topics. So there are little things I do every day that I would call working, like talking to a scientist about their work, or trying to organize interviews with an astronaut, or even just learning more about science experiments on the space station. It's not making my videos, but it's still work, and it's still something that I really love doing. So it almost doesn't even feel like work at all because I like doing it so much.
Yeah, like you've almost got like a reframe of this is how I'm choosing to see it. Like you were saying earlier on, I'm going to see this in a positive light even.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great.
Exactly.